Good morning, girls, and it is time to Let's Simplify in Math. You will notice on the Band app that I gave you an example as a review of how we have been simplifying fractions. That means we've been taking a fraction and finding the simplest way to express it in an equivalent form. So the example I gave you was 4/8. Step 1 is to find the factors for the numerator and the denominator. So let's begin with the numerator, which is the number 4. Remember that a factor is any number that we can multiply by the numbers we can multiply together and will give us 4. So what number times what number equals 4? Well, we know that 1 times 4 equals 4 because we know that any number times 1 is that number. So we can always start with 1 times whatever number we're trying to find factors for, and that gives us our first two factors, 1 and the number. What other numbers can we multiply together that will equal 4? Think about it for a moment. What other number times what other number equals 4? Do you have it? It's easy, isn't it? 2 times 2 equals 4. Now, even though we said 2 times 2, we're only going to write the number 2 down one time. So my next factor is going to be 2. Let me make that a little darker so we make sure we can see it. There you go. Can you think of any other numbers that we can multiply together to get 4? I think we're finished. I can't think of any more. So let's move on to our denominator. We're looking for numbers that we can multiply together that will give us 8. What did I say is the first thing we can use? That's right. 1 times 8 gives us 8. So we can write down 1 and 8 as our first two factors. What other two numbers can we multiply together that will give us 8? Let's think about that for a minute. What times what equals 8? I think I hear you saying it. 4 times 2. You're right. So we also have 4 and 2 as factors of 8. Can you think of any other numbers that we can multiply together and get 8? I can't. So we're finished with the factors for 8. So step 2 now is to find the greatest common factor. So let's look at our list of factors for 4 and for 8. We see a lot of common factors, don't we? We see 1, we see 2, we see 4 in both the list for the numerator and the list for the denominator. But we're looking for the greatest common factor. So which one do we circle? You're right. We circle the 4. Now, our last step is that we take that 4 and divide it by the numerator and by the denominator. So let's do that step. So we have 4/8 divided by 4 over 4. What we're asking when we divide, remember that dividing is breaking that number down into parts. So what we're asking is how many groups of 4 are in the number 4? Well, our factors already tell us. We know that one group of 4, or 1 times 4, is 4. So if I have a group of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, if I have these 4 marks that represent the number 4, and I group it into a group of 4, I only have one group. 4 divided by 4 is 1. But what if I had 8? Because my denominator is the number 8. And I want to know how many groups of 4 are in the number 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've already grouped one group of 4. Now here's another group of 4. So how many do I have? 2 groups of 4. And just like we saw in the factors, 4 times 2 is 8. 2 groups of 4 are in 8. And so 8 divided by 4 is 2. And now I have simplified the fraction 4/8 to its lowest term. So it's an equivalent fraction. 1/2 is equivalent to 4/8, and it's expressed in its lowest terms. Now it's your turn to do some on your own. I gave you some that are posted on the Band app, and I instructed you to copy those on a piece of paper. Miss Marcia put extra notebook paper in your notebooks, and so you can open your notebooks and take out some of that paper. Give yourself plenty of room, okay? So don't copy them real close together. You might even just copy one at a time. And when you have your answer, you can write the answer for me. You can type it back to me, or you can take a picture of your paper and send it to me. If you need some help, give me a call or text me or message me, or get mom or some adult to help you be able to send Miss Marcia your answer. And then I'll respond back to you, but I'm sure you're going to do great because we've been doing this for a while. So, okay, girls, let's go simplify.